You ever get an official-looking document in the mail and your heart just sinks a little? You know, all that dense text, the super formal language, it can be really intimidating. Well, today, we're going to tackle that feeling head-on. We're taking this formal legal order and we're going to break it down piece by piece so you'll know exactly what to look for next time.
Okay, let's dive right in. At first glance, this document from the Office of Administrative Hearings might look like a total forest of legal jargon, but I promise you, inside this single page is a clear story with a beginning, a middle, and an end. Our job is just to find it. Ready? So the very first step to understanding any legal notice like this is always the same. We need to figure out who the key players are. Who is this story actually about? Right at the top, the document introduces our two main characters. On one side, we've got Daniel J Coe, and on the other, the Maricopa Meadows Homeowners Association. But what do their official titles, Petitioner and Respondent, actually tell us about their roles in this whole thing? Think of the petitioner as the one who gets the ball rolling. As you can see here, they are the person or group who started this whole legal process by filing a petition. So in our story, Mr. Coe is the one who kicked this all off, bringing his case to the authorities. And that makes the Homeowners Association the respondent. They're the party being asked to respond to what the petitioner started. Simple enough, right? One party starts the conversation, the other responds. Now that we know who's who, let's find out what this is all about. Okay, so we know the players. Let's get to the main event. What did the judge actually decide? This is the heart of the document, the entire reason it was written in the first place. Legal documents are full of all this formal language, but there's almost always a key phrase that cuts right through the noise and tells you the most important part. Scan the document for a second. Can you spot the words that signal a direct command from the judge? And here we go. See that phrase in all caps? It is hereby ordered. Whenever you see that, your brain should light up. What follows is the court decision. And it says the hearing is vacated. That one word, vacated, is the entire reason this document exists. So what does vacated actually mean? Well, it's just a formal way of saying canceled. The hearing that was scheduled is now officially off the books. It is not happening. So we know what happened, but the document doesn't stop there. The next logical question is, why? And this is what separates a good legal order from a bad one. It doesn't just give you a command, it gives you the context. The document itself tells us exactly why the judge made this decision. This timeline lays it out perfectly. On October 8th, the petitioner, Mr. Coe, files a specific motion. Then, just 4 days later, on October 12th, the judge issues this order canceling the hearing. It's a really clear cause and effect. And here's the explanation, pulled directly from the text. The petitioner himself filed a motion to withdraw, telling the court that the hearing was not necessary. So the hearing was canceled for a pretty simple reason. The person who originally asked for it changed his mind. So, is the case just over? Done and dusted? Not quite. Legal processes are often a chain of events, and a good order will tell you about the next link in that chain. Let's look for the final instruction. And hey, look at that. There's that key phrase again. It is further ordered. This tells us there's one more piece to this puzzle. The judge is remanding the matter. That's another one of those legal terms you'll want to add to your toolkit. To remand a case simply means to send it back. Think of it like a game of hot potato. The case isn't being dismissed or closed. The Office of Administrative Hearings is just passing it back to another agency, the Department of Real Estate, for them to take the next steps. Okay, let's take a step back and see the whole picture. What might have looked like a dense, complicated document at the beginning now tells a very simple and logical story. So let's just recap. We have our petitioner, Daniel Coe, and our respondent, the HOA. The big decision was that the hearing was vacated or canceled. The reason was super straightforward. The petitioner himself asked for it. And what's next? The case is remanded or sent back to the Department of Real Estate. See? Not so intimidating when you know what to look for. So there you have it, a basic toolkit for reading any legal order. The trick is to not get lost in all the fancy words. Identify the parties, find those key action words like ordered, vacated, and remanded, and then just piece together the story. So the next time a formal document lands in your hands, you'll know exactly how to decode it. What confusing jargon should we tackle next? Let us know.